Hi everybody, it's RPG Grandma. And again, completely behind the times because this has been out for a while. And now you've got to find it used or something. The deluxe edition, the hardbound Metamorphosis Alpha. Now, Hubby knows I love role-playing games. He loves role-playing games. He also knows I like stuff like this. So he got it for me. So cool. And there's a few other things that I have that goes with it. Maybe we'll talk about those in a different one. But Metamorphosis Alpha, this book is awesome. I have the PDF. That's what I've been working off of. I love Gamma World. Pretty sure I played this game in my youth, at least once or twice. But then it was Gamma World. You know, Gamma World, Gamma World, Gamma World. And, you know, the other game that was played a lot was D&D, and there was a few others in there, different games, and Star Frontiers later, and, you know, all that stuff. And there was the one time I got people to play Traveler, but it scared them, so they never did it again. The math, something like that. I don't remember what their problem was with Traveler. There were spy games. There were all kinds of games we played as kids. Westerns. But the mutants and the fantasy, those were the mainstay that I remember. People just everybody being willing to play. Like even if they knew they were going to die, they were like, "Yeah, let's go die horrifically in irradiated lands, right?" And I like space, so being able to get my hands on an actual hard copy of Metamorphosis Alpha, awesome. I'm really impressed the condition the book's in. So hubby got that for me, so sweet. So that's, you know, if you notice, I've been posting stuff about Metamorphosis Alpha. I was working off the PDF and comparing it to Gamma World and old D&D, and in preparation for a game anyway, so it's nice that this showed up. So we're probably going to be play testing through the rules this week. My husband and I, and then I'm going to start something with it. I don't know if we're going to get the other folks to play or how many. We might get that going, or maybe I'll even try figuring out how to film some solo play or something. I don't know. But I love sci-fi. I love fantasy sci-fi. And so that's cool. I've also been working on a project that has to do with Gamma World and Star Frontiers. So it's kind of like all coming together right now. One kind of lovely sci-fi fun fest for me. So I've been working on that. And I just thought I'd share. I mean, there's some cool stuff on here. So if I do a campaign with folks in my local play group, because I'd already been thinking about, okay, they're gonna have to be primitive. How primitive do I want them? I want them pretty primitive. You know, I was already thinking along that, and then this showed up, and I got to start reading the articles and stuff in here, and I'm like, hey, Gary, he's doing exactly what I was thinking of doing. He did exactly what I was thinking of doing. So with them being, so primitive in their technology, like more so than D&D, and they don't know at all what they're dealing with. It's just all weird hard rocks that make weird sounds, and they don't know they're on a ship. They don't know that it's metal and not rock, because they don't have metal, stuff like that. And that's stuff that they discover later. And so the players know right away. They figure it out usually right away, especially the first time someone gets electrocuted. But, something like that, like in Gary's version of what he did. But they have to pretend they don't know when they're trying to describe what happened to them to the other players. And I think that would be fun do definitely require me sitting down and explaining to the players, okay, you are a primitive. You know nothing about modern technology. Nothing. That means that when you're playing these characters, you have to play them like you don't know what that is. I think a good movie to make people watch would be The Gods Must Be Crazy. Because that's basically the premise of the movie. Part of it is a piece of trash that is from a more technically advanced culture, falls into a community extremely primitive people who probably do know what a Coca-Cola bottle is. Just, but the metaphor for that, the actual, what is this thing, and then the strife it causes, and it causes the guy to have to go on a quest to give this thing back to the gods. All I could think of was, yeah, that's Metamorphosis Alpha. in a nutshell. You're primitive, and then you got to deal with tech, and some of it might just be trash, but it still causes problems. And that's Gamer World as well. Yeah. And I love games like that. I love Gamer World. I remember, like describing things like toasters or having them described to you, but the word toaster is never used, so you have no idea what it is right away. And even if you figure it out, your character doesn't know. So you come up with other names for the thing, and you do things with the thing maybe you shouldn't, because you don't know. And that's half the fun of playing these kind of games. But you do have to have players that want to do that, who understands that even if they know it's a toaster, they don't get to say it's a toaster. They have to approach it strictly from that, I don't know this. And so what would I think about that, being exposed to it for the first time? You wouldn't know it's a car. You would just think it's a monster, right? Barreling down at you with big shiny teeth or something, depending on the time period particularly. So yeah, something to think about in your gaming. How do you describe stuff and present stuff when you're being the game master, which is also part of the fun of this game. So even if you're the game master, part of the fun of these kind of games is describing things in a way that players, even if they come from a society that has that stuff, are going to be going, I don't know what it is, at least at first. And even if after they figure it out, they're like, what would I think it is and what I know it is are two different things. Like, say they found a space helmet, right? And they're like, it would be a weird pot to them, right? That is made of this magical material that you can see into, right? On one side, it would be the coolest cooking pot. A cooking pot of the ancients, made with long lost pottery skills nobody has, made of the strangest pottery. That's what you would think. You wouldn't be thinking it's a helmet, if you have no concept of what a spacesuit is. So that's how you get to describe it, as these strange pots and containers and rocks and things, and it's great fun. And I was quite amused to see that Gary Gygax did exactly that I've been thinking of doing with a group of people I play with when we play Metamorphosis Alpha. But first I got to test play it with somebody else, and I have somebody to test play it with, and make sure I'm up to snuff on the rules. Then I can get, putting together a map of the little local area, that kind of thing. But at any rate, that's what's going on my end with games. It's a mutant. it's a mutant Thanksgiving. Anyway, everybody have a great day.